Hello, this is Bern, and if a guy started pursuing you with passion and excitement, and when your emotions got involved, things flipped, and he started lowering and lessening his intensity, and offering you the bare minimum to avoid losing you, but you still feel hooked? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to flip this dynamic and end the breadcrumbing once and for all without losing worth or dignity. Hello, this is Bern. Welcome to another edition of BernMendez.com. If this is your first time here and you'd like to learn how you can attract your ideal life partner without the need for gimmicks, manipulation, or silly techniques, make sure to hit the subscribe button right now so you can be notified of new episodes as they come out. Let's define what breadcrumbing is in this context. It's when someone is offering you some emotional connection at some level that is small enough to where you feel unseen, unheard, unmet, but significant enough where you're not willing to risk letting go of it, and you stay stuck in this dynamic of feeling some level of excitement like a roller coaster and a lot of pain because the majority of the time typically you're not being met and getting what you want. So how do you change this dynamic? I'm going to divide this video in two sections. The first section is going to be what you need to stop doing, and the second section is going to be what you can do right now to not just resolve this, but resolve it from the root, which is where you can have a solution that lasts a lifetime versus just solve it for this guy and then the next guy who shows up does the same thing to you. First thing is, I want you to stop the self-blame. And here's what I mean. When you go through something painful, the natural tendency is to feel bad about yourself, that even though you intellectually get that this is shit, that you should experience more, that you want more, but you feel unable to do it, there's a feeling of anger that comes when that takes place. And the way you talk to yourself about this will determine your ability to free yourself from it or to doom yourself deeper into this feeling of despair and this feeling of unworthiness. Why? Because when you talk to yourself as your worst enemy in ways that you wouldn't even allow your enemy to talk to you, but you talk to yourself that way, unchecked, you start thinking that you are your behavior. Instead of saying, hey, I do this thing, is I'm unworthy, or I'm stupid, or I'm not intelligent enough. It has nothing to do with intelligence, has nothing to do with you as a human being, how great you are. It just has to do with the way you have met certain needs in a way that's unhealthy. And if you see it as the behavior versus you stand a chance to change it. If you see it as part of you, intrinsically you're broken, then even if you're not, it's going to be really hard to change. Number two is stop lying to yourself. When you think about how great this guy is or how much he meets your needs, on your list should be someone who wants to move things forward without you forcing him or begging him to do that. So what percentage of the time do you feel seen, heard, and met versus disrespected, unmet, and ignored? And that's a key figure for you. If the percentage of time that you feel ignored is bigger than the percentage of time you feel met, that's a red flag right then and there. And sometimes the intensity you feel, the moments where you're met, blinds you from seeing the reality. So yeah, it may be true that this guy, when he connects with you, it feels awesome, but what's the price you're paying for those brief moments of excitement, and how is it ruining your life in other ways? Next step is you need to stop justifying his behavior. Whether it doesn't matter if he has the intention of hurting you or not, he's still hurting you. He's still making you miss chances and opportunities in your life right now. And the last thing you need to stop doing is stop referencing the moments where things were great. Stop telling yourself, but you don't know. When things are great, they're so great. Yes, but when they're not, they're horrible sometimes. And an equation that has a positive number followed by a bigger negative number is a negative equation. So even though he might be bringing some excitement, some passion, some fun, some adventure, the other moments are more than taking away whatever he brings, even if you don't see it right away. What to do now? I mean, two things you can do. The first thing is you can solve this problem of this specific guy, and there's many techniques to do that. But I want to help you solve this from the ground up so it doesn't happen again. So the biggest thing I can say that can sustainably help you, all guys who are breadcrumbing you, to stop doing that is focus on who you need to become as a human being. Focus on what are the qualities and what's the lifestyle that will allow for you to be the kind of woman that doesn't allow that in her life. What will it take for you to have a little bit more self-love, a little bit more self-respect, and a lot more courage so that when that's taking place, you can see a vision for something bigger for yourself and step into it even though you don't have the new reality, even though the next guy hasn't shown up yet. you can still feel free to walk away from something that's not working for you if you have emotional courage. Now, before I share the 4 or 5 things you can start doing, I want to invite you, if you want to go further than I can share in this video and develop an actionable dating plan that can help you attract more men and let go of guys who don't serve you, then hit the first link in the description of this video. You'll see a page that looks like this. You can enter your name and email and start watching my free training right away. So first thing I want you to do, if you want to change the dynamic, is I want you to take a moment without thinking of this experience and this man, to think about what do you really want in your life. Not what do you think you can get, or what can he offer you, or when his job stops asking him to work 7 days a week, what can he offer because he's so tired? What do you want? What's something aspirational for you that you feel excited and connected to create, even if this man can't give it to you? Write it down. And then I want you to write down next to it, what's the gap? In every part, every little piece that you wrote about what you want, how big is the gap in terms of what you're looking for? And again, that might be a big surprise for you because you might be erroneously thinking that this is better than it is, but when you really see it item by item, the way you connect, how many times you connect a week, the intensity of the connection, not just when things are going well, but when you're going through challenges. Your capacity to talk about important things that matter, his capacity to take you into his world, connect you with his friends, all those things that are important, how big is the gap? Second, you need to start replacing the dopamine and the high that you get from him in ways that are healthier. Why? Because if you attempt to stop the breadcrumbing, which is bringing you something, let's be clear about this. The reason why you stay in the breadcrumbing is every time you get a breadcrumb, and sometimes it's in a kind of like when people gamble. I mean, they win a little bit, right? That's part of gambling. When you win a little bit, then you think you will win more again, and you never know when you're going to win again. And so you continue putting money in the slot and losing money. Casino always wins, right? So right now, he's in some ways feeding you random experiences that create intensity, excitement, a rush of dopamine in your system. And if you don't find a healthier way to replace it, then you'll inevitably go back to him or someone like him with a different face. So you need to find what creates joy, passion, excitement, fulfillment, gratitude, and do what you can to make it a consistent part of your life so that you can feel by contrast that what he's offering to you is a lot less than what you thought before. Next step is I want you to start being really honest with yourself and seeing what are all the impacts in your life that not just the guy breadcrumbing you, but you taking less than you deserve, or you lowering your standards, or you feeling unseen or unmet, or feeling rejected. Those are not neutral events in your life. And as much as you'd like to think that your love life doesn't translate into your career, it doesn't translate into your friendships, it does. Sometimes in lesser ways, but it does translate. So I want you to start sensing right now and getting really honest about the lessening of your self-esteem and self-worth. How is it impacting your life, and how will it continue impacting down the line? Next step is make a commitment that you want to change this. Make the commitment that you're going to be someone who accepts a lot more for yourself, because this is the truth. The way he's treating you right now is what you ultimately in your heart of hearts, you believe you deserve. Because if you believed you deserve better, you would have changed this already. So I'm asking you to believe more for yourself. I'm asking you to raise the vision of what's possible for you so that what he's offering you no longer feels like it's doing the trick. And get an accountability partner, meaning every time you want to reach back to this guy that you know is wasting your time, text your friend instead. Every time you're about to accept an invitation to a friend with benefits meeting that you know will feel great in the moment and make you feel emotionally hungover for the next 30 days, tell your friend to help you stay accountable to yourself. Don't do it alone. And the last one is clarify and move on. Clarify to yourself if it's possible to connect and get something more. I mean, you can have a conversation where you express the needs that you have right now in life and figure out if he's looking for the same thing. And if you're not, then don't be with him. Or you can simply move on. If you recognize that the type of behavior is one that you don't even want to attempt to repair because it's not something that you know is going to get you where you want to be, then just end it. Move forward. But ending it, which is the last step, or moving forward, is a lot easier when you've stopped doing certain things that I shared earlier, when you started doing the things that make your emotional strength and core be at its highest. Hope this is helpful and useful and insightful. And if it is, please go to the first link in the description of this video to start watching my free masterclass that can take these concepts to the next level. If you enjoy the video, click like or thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified of new episodes. Last but not least, if you want my help, hand-holding, accountability, and personalized attention to help you change a dynamic like this or enter a healthy relationship, second link in the description of this video will allow you to connect with me and figure out where a fit to work together. Thank you so much for allowing me into your heart and home, and as always, I challenge you to live a full and a conscious life.